Hello. Have you heard of customer developments before? If you haven't heard of a customer developments, I think it's a very important concept that you need to consider if you're going to start any new business or develop any new product. If you're an established company, your problem is much less because you already have a customer list, so you can either contact your existing customers, or you already have some feedbacks from your customers and you know them, you know their need, and then you most likely develop your product based on your customers' feedbacks or as an extension to your existing product range. So you know most likely a lot more about your market and customers. But if you're a new startups or a new entrepreneurs that you want to start a new business, you most likely don't know a lot about your customers at the start. And that is a very important process that you need to do, because what you are developing needs to meet your customers' requirements and need. And for that, you need to first know who are your customers. So customer development is a series of processes that you need to go to. First of all, identify who are going to be your customers, what are their needs or problems, how to reach them, and how to grow them when you have your business. Most of the people who start working on a new product idea or starting in a startup business, focusing a lot on their product and technical things. But it is always very important to consider that if you cannot sell your product, you don't have a business. So it's very important that from the start of your process, you work on customer developments to know who they are, what are they need, and be open to the feedbacks you're getting from them, because that helps you to evolve and changing your process. Customer development is part of the process of building a business plan for your company and a startup. And of course, I will discuss a bit more in details about the business model and business model canvas for your work. But what I want to focus and discuss in this video is a few things important about the customer developments. In this process of what we call customer development, you need to go back into your assumption, business assumption. And I tell again, a business assumption, because it's not all about your product, it's about your business, and test them. Anyone who has an idea or start working on product development has already some assumptions. So for example, you assume that your customers has a certain problems, the same as you have thoughts of. They might like to buy your product. For example, if you reach them and I show them your product, they have the same problem as you have thought, and that problem is big enough for them that they say, oh, thanks very much, how much is it? And if you tell the price, whatever it is, they happily pay for it and they just take your money. And there are a lot of other business assumptions that you might have already. But are they correct assumptions? Have you assumed or know enough your customers to have the right assumptions? So you need to list all these assumptions and look into them and find which are these ones are your riskiest assumptions. By that I mean that if your assumption is wrong, that has much more effect on your whole business. So, and test them. So there are some ways for testing your assumptions, and that's another discussion that I'm going to have in another video. But the main thing is list your assumptions, and then there are ways to identify who are going to be your customers, and then you need to go out and ask them about these assumptions and these questions to find out if your assumptions are correct. And this way you actually develop your customer list identify who going to be your customers and answer some of those questions I mentioned before. And then based on that, evolve your idea. So don't rush into the product developments if you don't have answer for any of these questions yet. And don't go and ask these questions from your friends and families, because they are going to be kind to you. So go to strangers and of course your potential customers and ask your questions, or do a bit of sort of interview and knowing and testing your assumptions and see if they are correct, and your product idea has are going to have some good customer range in the future. Thank you.